I'm in downtown Christchurch, New Zealand, and a large portion of the city is shut down because of the earthquake a couple years ago. You can see some of the destruction. All of this is probably 10-15 square blocks of downtown is closed off for safety reasons. And this is a little festival they're doing on this side of town to try to rejuvenate downtown. Here's more of the destruction from that earthquake downtown. I mean, I think it's like 15 blocks, all downtown stuff. That it's all cordoned off where you can't go on it. But slowly but surely they're trying to revitalize it. And one of the ways is a little mini fake grass soccer field. It's one-on-one soccer. It's kind of nice. I don't think this building sells watches anymore. I don't think it sells much of anything. Wow. Wonder how those tires got up there.
There's one chair there for everybody who didn't return from that day, February the 22nd.
Empty chairs. One for every.
Now, on the other side of the road, all that remains of Blackwell's Holden Garage is that sign. This was the press building, our newspaper building, and that had to be brought down. So that's the new press building. You can see with the top 4 stories of glass, and the original press building was right in front of us, right behind that Master Guard skip. It occupied the area which is now a car park. It's got one solitary car in. Down as is, which is why you've got all this stuff hanging out of it. And this machine here has the longest boom of any crane in the southern hemisphere. 3 high there, 5 high there. Also, if you drive down to Sumner, which is our seaside part of Christchurch, you go past cliffs, and they have containers 3 high by the side of the road, so that if the cliffs, because the road goes right by the sea, if the cliffs actually start to fall down, that it won't come onto the road. On the left-hand side, we have the front runner's shop. They've taken all the stock out, but the mannequins are still in there.
But here he is.
Now this is Colombo Street. This is the main street in the city. Traffic goes south, but it doesn't come north. This was still in the red zone. There are 63 containers in here. It goes back 2 deep on the right-hand side. They're all gaily painted, and there are 25 tenants in there. We've got, if anybody's local, the Johnson's, the grocers is in there. Still got to look at the sell-by date. Scorpio Books is in there, and you've got Valentine's, and there are quite a lot of souvenir shops, and there's coffee shops. It's a lovely place. Just after you've been on the tour, it's a nice place to go and have a cup. That's opened up on the 4th of September 2012, exactly 2 years after the first earthquake. And on the left there you can see guys playing on another gap filler. That's the football in the gap. And it says, if you see the left-hand wall that's behind on the left side, football forever, football in the gap, and then Cha-Cha forever. Christchurch forever. Now, if you look down the street here, on the left-hand side, you'll see a building with tyres on the roof. Now, that's the building called Shan's Emporium, and it's the oldest surviving commercial building in Christchurch. It was built in 1860. It's made of wood, and that's why it survived. And it became an antique shop, Shan's Emporium, in 1977. There was also a second-hand clothing store up above, and it was painted green on the front. It was really nice. And I believe that's been taken to the Heritage Park to join other older post office. Yeah, that's the old post office, built of brick in the Venetian style. That was completed in 1879, and in 1881 had the first telephone exchange in New Zealand. And on the right here, this is a sculpture that has survived. This is the West End. This is the west door. That's the south, the north, and the east. Now, can you see this big metal frame? That was put up against the church here. It's an old floodlight stand from one of the stadium, and we had a beautiful rose window, circular stained glass here at the West End. Came in under the roof, and it was above that pointed bit above the door. Now, Friday the 13th of June, we had another event. We had a little rock and roll, and what happened is the cathedral went that way, the metal support went that way, and then they came together, and that was the window gone. Beautiful stained glass. Now, on a happy note, they have either got photographs of the stained glass, or they've actually got some stained glass up. I'm not technologically too up. There's a statue that survived. That's a citizen statue for those who lost their lives in the First War. The allegorical figures around the bottom of truth and valour and courage. After this, we're going to come to the Central Library, which has been suffered very badly. This was the actual debating chamber that we had provincial sort of government for about 4 or 5 years. The stone bits come right down, but if you look up the street, you can see light sort of cream-coloured bits with a brown edging on. Those are all wooden, and they've all survived. But this is just what they do. There's the one with the pincers on, like Twinkle Toes has, the one that's right at the back there. Can you see he's got hold of a beam, it looks like there, and he's just... There it are. He's trying to pull it out. They're a bit like giant ants in a way. Yeah, it's to keep the dust down.